Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the San Francisco 49ers and the Indianapolis Colts. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And right away, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think? Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll set up a throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
And again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the crossing route complete. That's Perry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Come on, set. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 18 yards, first down Niners. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
That good for 19 and a first down. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give right side. Jordan. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. It's a give to Freeman running right. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They're going to look to throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. And his first carry, he loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Now the try here for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. They'll look to throw here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Quan Alexander make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. 2nd and 15. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You better be ready. Ready, go.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss it.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Nick Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Miles Jack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 18 yards, first down Niners. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Off play action. Wilder sliding out of the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake. Wilder. That'll be caught by Rice. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across. Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2nd and long. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lamb. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now back to throw. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Perry.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Perry. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on it.
Touchdown, 49ers! A big play there in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year as his guys continue to pour it on. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop in.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2nd and 5. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Peterson. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense?
And look at this. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The result there is the offense is going to come back on the field. A 1st down as they get 12 on the fake punt. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They run again with Peterson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Perry. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run with Peterson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 14. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Nick Bosa in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. One off the NFL record of 7. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll drop the throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out. Strong.
The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? Looks like they're headed to a
touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and a long run there in the end to top it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
He will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted.
Wilders pass complete to Dante Pettis. Touchdown, San Francisco. The kicker on for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackle. Tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Crunch time, defense. Mike.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he's going to be up around the 45-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Back to throw. Wilder. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point splits the uprights. A final score now from Denver. The Broncos have opened up a 2-touchdown lead. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time.